Hey guys, so today is just going to be a very casual get ready with me while I answer some questions for you that you had about planning a destination wedding. And so let's go. I'm actually getting my new driver's license picture taken today for my new last name. So, kind of want to put on some makeup for that. First thing I want to tell you guys about is this. I guess the company sent me over, I don't know, some really nice lady emailed me and asked if she could send over some sheet masks, and I was like, sure. These are the BioBell sheet masks. Now this one, I don't usually have the time to do one before I get ready in the morning. Like, who does? But for a day like today, I thought that I would try it, and I really like it. So my skin feels really nice and like prepped. It almost feels a tad tacky. And I know that sounds bad, but it does sound perfect for makeup application. So it's supposed to enhance radiance, minimize pores, even skin tone. It's basically supposed to be like a primer, like prep the skin for a flawless makeup application. So this is what it looks like. It's by BioBell. I don't know, I really like it. I haven't tried the other ones yet, but so far so good. I guess the makeup I won't really talk too much about because I'll be talking about wedding stuff. So I will link it down below if you guys are curious. Ricky really wanted like a big party. That's just who he is. So I guess he didn't really care about the wedding, like having a huge wedding, but he wanted a huge reception. So, and I am just so, I did not want that at all. So I said, well, how about we just have like something really small and go somewhere. Like, I was down for eloping, like with just like our families. He wasn't down for that. So then we decided on a destination wedding. And I guess that was like the best compromise because it would still be a smaller wedding, but it would still be like a party because you're on vacation with your friends and family and whatever. So I started looking at places that we would want to have a destination wedding. We looked at Cabo and we looked at Hawaii. And I had been to Hawaii before, but I'd only been to Oahu. Ricky had never been to Hawaii at all. And we both had already been to Cabo. So once we really started looking, we kind of just decided, all right, well, we might as well go someplace new, but that we know is going to be nice. So that's how we decided on Maui. And really, once we thought, okay, Maui is probably where we're going to do this, I just started researching. Like, I just pulled up Google and I started thinking, like, Googling things. Simple weddings, Maui weddings. And I Googled simple Maui weddings. And so there's actually a company called Simple Maui Weddings, which is just like the most perfect name for people like me who are looking for a simple Maui wedding. And so I came across their website and they had really nice pictures. That was the first thing that caught my eye. And they also had nice packages. Like, the pricing was nice too, is what I mean. So, and we weren't looking to spend a ton of money. But, you know, we wanted to have something nice enough that we would be, like, proud of. So when I saw the pricing, I was like, oh, okay. Like, it kind of caught my attention. And Simple Maui Weddings, they basically, you pick a beach. There's pictures of, like, 6 different beaches. You pick the beach. There's pictures of 6 different flower bouquets. You pick the flower bouquet. There's different packages for how much time you want with the photographer. You pick what works best for you, and then that's pretty much it. You do pick if you want a traditional religious ceremony with mixed in with a traditional Hawaiian ceremony, or you pick a non-denominational, non-religious ceremony with a traditional Hawaiian, or non-traditional Hawaiian. You can mix and match. So what we did is non-denominational, non-Hawaiian. I didn't know what the Hawaiian wedding really entailed, but I just wanted something super simple and basic. And even if you do a non-Hawaiian wedding, they'll still have you do the little thing at the end where you exchange leis. It's kind of funny because in a traditional Hawaiian wedding, or at least for ours, you do like this little like Eskimo kisses and you exchange leis. I don't know, it's just kind of funny and it's different, but you could ask to not have that if you wanted to. So we chose our packages. I really just wanted, I chose the beach because I liked the background of the beach that we ended up choosing, but there are a bunch of other ones that you could choose. And then now I just saw that they'll do some weddings in Oahu too, so that's kind of nice. So we were pretty certain that we were gonna go with Simple Maui Weddings. We sat down together on the computer and picked out like our packages, what we felt comfortable with spending on photography. I picked out my bouquet. We decided how many guests we would have, because there's a max to how many guests you can have on a beach wedding. I think it was like 30 or something like that. And we were definitely going to have less than that. So then after I picked my bouquet and picked the beach and all of that kind of stuff, that was when we got started with the invitations. Now this all happened in December of 2016. I remember doing it over my Christmas break from work. So, and we were planning on getting married in June. And I remember when we talked to the people at Simple Maui Weddings, they were like, you know, I asked if the date that we wanted was available, and they were like, oh yeah. So I think that you could, because a lot of people will elope in Maui. So I think that unless you're like super certain about a very specific date, like 7/7/2007 kind of thing, then I think that you could get away with booking it without less than 6 months in advance, if that makes sense. We chose the date, we put down our deposit. They expect 50% deposit once you are ready to book, and then you do the other half when about a month out from your wedding. When you do it, you kind of get a wedding planner, like you get one point of contact. And that person asked me to share my Pinterest board with them, like my wedding Pinterest board. So that was kind of cool. She wanted to see like what my style was. So I did that, and then like I said, we just got started right away with the invitations. Because we were doing a destination wedding, we wanted to give our family plenty of time in advance to book something. Now, I would say 6 months is plenty of time in advance for people to be able to book a vacation like that. But if you can do it sooner, then I would. I mean, there's nothing wrong with giving them too much time in advance, in my opinion. The tough thing was getting people to respond and commit, because there's a huge difference between having 8 people at your wedding and having 30 people at your wedding in terms of cost. Like, it wouldn't have been a big difference in cost for the actual wedding because you choose a package based on how many people you think will be there, but it does make a big difference with dinner. So, you know, if you think 8 people are going to be there for dinner, you might have filet mignon. You know, if you think 30 people are going to be there, you kind of have to think about, you have to budget. At least we did, because I had already chosen everything with Simple Maui Weddings, and I felt like I was good for a little bit. But then, so Simple Maui Weddings, they take care of the wedding, but they're not taking care of the like reception or anything after the fact. So they, when you sign, like when you pay your deposit, they will send you a preferred vendor list, and that will include like hotels, it will include hair and makeup, it will include places to go to dinner if you want to have like a dinner reception after the ceremony. And so once I received that, I just kind of started doing my research. I used Instagram as a huge research tool throughout this whole process, because really what I wanted to see were pictures. You know, when you can't see anything before you actually get there, it's a little bit daunting, because you really don't know what it's going to be like until you're already there in the midst of it. You know, like I chose the specific beach that I liked in the pictures, but I didn't really know what it was really going to look like until I was in the process of getting married. So I would say, like, if you are a total control freak, and I don't mean that in a rude way, I understand if it's your wedding. If you want to have complete control over everything, and this is just like the wedding is everything to you, then I don't know if I would recommend a destination wedding, just because you don't get to see everything until you're already there. For me, I think anyways, that I was the most laid back, chill bride ever. And so I just trusted that everything was going to work out. Like, really all I wanted in the end was to marry Ricky and be happy and have everybody else have a good time. And I knew that that was going to happen, whether there were kinks in the day or not. So that being said, I started using Instagram as a research tool to look into the vendors that they had suggested, and I started with dinner. So we knew about how much we wanted to spend for dinner, and so we looked at the restaurants that they listed, and we chose one from that list that looked good and that had a prefix menu that didn't include seafood because I don't really love seafood. I know a lot of people in my family don't really love it, and when you're in Hawaii, there's seafood everywhere. So we chose this place, and we chose a place called Gannon's, just in case you're actually going to Maui. And with Gannon's, you could do an open bar, but you are paying for every drink. So let's say you have 10 people there and everybody orders 3 drinks. You're paying for 30 drinks. You're not paying for an open bar and you're just putting down 10 grand, which is a good thing, and it could be a bad thing depending on how much your family drinks. For us, it was a good thing because we ended up having like 25 people at our wedding, and so, and not everybody drank a ton, so we just paid. It was kind of nice because you just pay for what you're drinking. And then they had different prefix menus, different appetizers that you could add on, and then you could just have like a simple dessert, or you could order cupcakes or order a cake through them. The thing was that you had to order the cake through them. You couldn't go to an outside vendor. And I'm pretty sure that most places will be like that, but that was Gannon's rule. We did end up ordering our cake through them. There was a problem with the cake, but it wasn't the end of the world. For makeup, again, I used Instagram to my advantage. I knew that people were going to be up to date on their Instagram if they wanted to get business. I mean, Instagram is a business marketing tool now. And so I looked on there to see what their wedding makeup look and wedding hair looks would be like. And so I decided on, what was her name? Hair and Makeup by Heather, I think is her Instagram name. I will put it down below. So I decided on her because I overall liked her looks the best. And then at first I was going to do hair and makeup, and then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, ugh, I just really want to do my makeup myself, because I'm not a makeup artist, but I know what I like, and I know what looks good on me and what doesn't look good on me, and I know what I'd be happy with on my wedding day. Because again, for something like that, unless you're going to go all the way out to Maui for a trial, it's basically, you show up, you get it done, and hope that you like it. You know, there's not a lot of practice rounds before the actual wedding, so that's just something to keep in mind. So I decided I would have her do my hair, but I would do my own makeup, and then I just had her do airbrush foundation on me because, I mean, I don't know, I wasn't really concerned too much, but I did know that I was dealing with a different type of climate. You know, Hawaii is very tropical, obviously, and so I was going to be dealing with some things that I don't usually deal with when living in Southern California. So I didn't really know what the humidity was going to be like, and so I figured airbrush foundation would probably be the best bet with having it stay put and dealing with pictures and all that kind of stuff. And she does come to your hotel or house or wherever you're staying, so you don't have to actually go anywhere the day of your wedding. She will come to you, and she ended up doing my mom and my sister's hair as well. So you guys asked me, like, how did you choose? Look at their Instagram, look at their website, and make sure that what they're showing is something that you'd be happy with. And if you don't feel comfortable with having somebody else do your makeup, then don't. Have yourself do your makeup, or have a friend do your makeup, or somebody that you know knows how to do your makeup and that you're always happy with. Okay. On the day of the wedding, you'll have the wedding, and then right after you'll take pictures with like family, friends, and then they will excuse the family and friends to go to the restaurant while you stay back and, ugh, my nose is so itchy, while you stay back and take pictures with the photographer. So we did that. So that was one thing I really wanted to make sure, is that there were appetizers waiting for my family and friends once they got to the restaurant, because it was going to be a while until we got to the restaurant and we could actually order. So it was nice that they could go there, they could have drinks, they could hang out, they could have appetizers until we arrived and we were done with our pictures. Oh, one thing that I wanted to mention too is, in addition to the vendors list that Simple Maui Weddings will give you, they also give you kind of like a travel agent. This is somebody who can book excursions for large groups. And what I really liked about it is that she would contact them. So if you wanted to do zip lining, we would say, okay, we want to do zip lining with this company. We want to do it at this time, and we want you to reach out to this person, this person, this person, and this person. And then she could collect separate invoices. So if you weren't planning on paying for that, she could see if they were interested in doing it and then invoice them for that. So that was kind of convenient too. And then she could also take care of like hotel reservations and that sort of thing, but we didn't use her for that. We mostly just used her for the excursions and activities to do while we were there. Okay, so now I'm going to get to the questions that you guys had. So somebody asked, how early should you book? Like I said earlier, I would say at least 6 months in advance. We did 6 months, and it seemed like everybody had enough time to, get their vacation plans in order. You really don't want to, say, send out invitations to Maui 3 months before the wedding and expect people to be able to take off work, rearrange any family vacations that they may have already had planned, that sort of thing. You really don't want to do that to people, especially if you really want them to come to your wedding. So I would say at least 6 months in advance. And then if you're going to do it 6 months in advance, make sure you get those invitations out right away. How do you decide on / trust a makeup artist and hairstylist without a trial run? It's tricky. You just have to go with your gut instinct. If you're not comfortable with having somebody else do your makeup, then don't. Maybe practice a few looks on yourself. But if you don't feel comfortable or confident enough to do your makeup yourself on your wedding day, or maybe you just don't want to because you don't want to worry about it, then I would just do your research, look at people's Instagram, websites, and Yelp. Yelp is a great tool to see, what people are thinking about a certain makeup artist. And all of the ones that were on the preferred vendors list that Simple Maui Wedding sent to me were on Yelp. And so I looked at that, and I looked at their pictures and really just thought what was more my style and what I would be happiest with. Because yeah, it is a little scary not having a trial run first. How did you handle dinner, since the venues do not include that? They sent us the preferred vendors list of dinners, and we went with the one that had the prettiest view, was most affordable for what you got. So yeah, and then we also looked at Yelp reviews for the restaurants. If the food was going to be gross, we really didn't want to go to that restaurant for our wedding dinner. So yeah, we just kind of researched a lot. I do my brows off camera, and I will be back. How early did you inform guests so that they could book flights? As soon as you know that you're going to do a destination wedding, I would start letting guests know. Even if you're not going to send out your invitations right away, I would at least put that in their ear, so that way they know maybe not to plan that family vacation that summer or whenever you're planning on going. Just kind of put it in their ear as soon as possible. Did you book through a, somebody says, did you book through a travel agent? No, kinda. So the vendors list included, her name was Rory, and she was the one who did a lot of our like activities. She could have done hotels, but I just preferred to do that research on my own. So really I just started going on a bunch of websites. This probably took us the longest is to book a hotel. So we decided that when we were in Maui, so we went to Maui for the wedding and then we went to Oahu for our honeymoon. So we decided that when we were in Maui, we wanted a fridge and we wanted a kitchen, and we wanted something big, especially if everybody was going to come over to the house the day of the wedding to get ready together. I didn't want to be crammed into a hotel room. And so we decided to do more of like a condo. It was more of like a timeshare kind of thing, which it had a separate bedroom, like an actual bedroom, like a living room area, and then a kitchen off to the side. So it was very spacious, and I really liked it. One thing that I will say though is check to see if you do something like that, if they have AC, because ours did have AC. We got lucky, but some of the other ones did not. So keep that in mind. We decided to book through travel, like a timeshare place in Maui, and then when we were on our honeymoon we wanted like a nice fancy hotel. So we just did our research and we looked at pictures online and we looked at reviews and then just kind of went from there. Like I said, it's hard because you don't know, like pictures can be deceiving and you don't really know, is it going to be what I think it's going to be? But that's why I recommend, if you're more of like a chill, laid back bride, sure, do a destination wedding. But if you are like in bridezilla mode, which again, I'm not saying that to be rude, I totally get it. If you want to have total control and you want everything to be perfect, then maybe have a wedding closer to your house. Did you utilize a wedding planner? Yes. So when you book with Simple Maui Weddings, they give you someone who is your wedding planner. So you have that one person that you can go back and forth with to ask any questions or get things done. And she is there the day of the wedding too. So she's the one coordinating everyone, and she did a really good job of making sure that I wasn't seen before the actual ceremony. It was really nice. Somebody said they're concerned about a wedding photographer, videographer. Not sure if you did a wedding package through the hotel you stayed at, but if so, did they come with a package? Did you get to see their work beforehand to make sure it wasn't cheesy, etc., or did you just research and pick your own? So when you go with Simple Maui Weddings, they book, or their photographer is Karma Hill Photography. And so Karma Hill is who you're going to be shot by if you go with Simple Maui Weddings. So you really don't have a choice there. They only work with one photographer, but that was a huge deal for me too. And so I just looked at Karma Hill's photography. If you go to Simple Maui Weddings, like their Instagram page, all the pictures on there are done by Karma Hill. So that's how I knew that that's who they worked with, and that's how I knew what the pictures would look like. I wouldn't have booked with Simple Maui Weddings if I didn't like the photography, you know, to be honest, because that's kind of a big deal to me. Okay, somebody asked, lash extensions, is a week too long in advance to get them done? So I got mine done Friday, and I got married on a Tuesday. So mine were perfect. The lady who did my airbrush foundation was like, yeah, a lot of times girls will come here and they'll have lash extensions, but I need to put individuals in when I'm doing their makeup because so many have fallen out. And she thinks that it's because girls get there and then, you know, you're going in the ocean, you're going scuba diving, you're going snorkeling, you're doing all of these fun water activities, and they're not going to hold up for that. Not as much for a wedding day. So what I would suggest is if you have to do it a week in advance, to get volume, like mega volume if you can, on your lashes, but also so that way if some of them fall out it's not as noticeable. But also I would get them done a few months before the wedding and just kind of see how long do they last. Your eyelashes fall out in cycles, so you kind of want to figure out when that cycle is and make sure that cycle does not happen around your wedding day. How did you plan your spray tan situation? Did you bring your self tanner with you and do it the night before? So I just planned on tanning like old school style. I went out in the backyard and laid out by the pool, and I'll tell you why. I know that this is not the healthiest choice ever. However, I did not want spray tan coming off on my white dress. And I knew that it was going to be hot in Hawaii, and I didn't want my sweat to get the spray tan wet and then have it rub off onto my bright white dress. So to avoid that, I decided that I just wouldn't spray tan at all. I would just try to get like a little base tan going on and make the best of it. Well, I did that, and I felt tan and I felt good. And then the day before the wedding, we went to the pool, and I got a little bit of a farmer's tan from my bathing suit, and so I was like, dang it, all of this work, and I'm still gonna have tan lines. And so because when I would lay out, I would obviously like position my bathing suit so that it would not have tan lines on my wedding dress. Anyways, so, and I didn't even bring self-tanner with me, so I was like, dang it, what am I gonna do? And luckily my mom brought one of those tanning towelettes, so I just rubbed that over my chest area the morning of the wedding, and it worked just fine. I didn't have noticeable tan lines in my dress or anything like that, so I just used that. So I really didn't, my plan did not work like I thought it would in my mind, because I ended up getting tan lines anyways. Honestly, I don't even know if I would recommend a spray tan if you're going to a tropical area, because a little bit will rub off on your dress, and you don't want orange self-tanner on your dress. How did you stick to your diet during travel in the first few days on vacation? What did you do as prep the day beforehand? I didn't. So once we got on the plane, we were on the same flight as my whole family, Ricky's whole family, and some of his friends. So it was pretty much, the party was pretty much getting started as soon as we got on the plane. And like they were sending us drinks, and the flight attendants comped a couple drinks for us just to like say congratulations and celebrate. And so there was no way that I was going to not take mimosa on the airplane because I was dieting. So it was pretty much like as soon as I got on the plane, it's not like my diet went out the window, but I was just enjoying myself, you know? I wasn't going to be like, oh no, I can't drink because I'm dieting. Like, yes, I had worked my butt off to get where I was, but I knew that a couple days before the wedding wasn't going to ruin all of that. So I tried to watch what I ate a little bit, at least before the wedding, you know, like not eat foods that I knew were going to bloat me. But I mean, I drank alcohol, and alcohol is a big bloater. And then as far as prepping the day or night before, I didn't do it. I mean, I shaved my legs. I didn't really do a lot of prep because everything was already done before I got there. I mean, I had already gotten my hair done. Ooh. I had already gotten my hair done. You know, somebody was coming over to do my hair in the morning. I was already tan. There wasn't a lot to be done. I wrapped the presents for my maid of honor and my mom. That's pretty much what I did the night before. The night before, we did a rehearsal dinner, which was basically just a way for everybody to get to know each other before the actual wedding. And so we did a luau because we thought that would be fun. Plus, it was all you could eat and all you could drink, so it was really easy. And so we did that the day before, but I didn't really prep anything. Everything was already done, and that's how it should be. You don't really want to be like stressing out about things the night before the wedding. Somebody said, is it possible to customize flowers, etc., or are you obligated to a package? They were super accommodating. So if I said that I wanted this instead of this, they were able to work around that. They even said, like, if you want, you know, you could add on an extra hour of photography instead of going up to the next package and paying that difference. They were really accommodating. So although I didn't ask if you could customize because everything that was on there I liked, I'm sure that they would help you out with that. Ooh, this is a good question. How did you ship your dress over to Hawaii? Did you bring it as a carry-on or did you put it in your luggage? I'm getting married in Maui in September. Congratulations! This is a great question because it's not one that a lot of people think about, but when you get your dress, they're gonna give it to you in one of those like cover things, like carry cover, whatever. It's going to be protected. And the place where I got my dress, she said you can, my eyelashes are really clumpy. She said you can call ahead and ask if there is going to be room in the captain's closet, which is basically a closet where you could hang your stuff. When we called ahead, they said, no, you can't book it in advance, but just ask when you get there. So when we got there, my mom, thanks Mom, she walked up to the front and asked them, is there room in the captain's closet for a wedding dress? And they were super accommodating. Like the flight attendants and all the people on the plane they're just excited for you. So we flew from San Diego to Maui, from Maui to Oahu, and then Oahu back to San Diego. And on all of those flights, everybody was super accommodating with holding my dress in the captain's closet so that way it could sit upright. All right, so those are all of the questions. It's time to get my driver's license picture taken. So this is the makeup that I'm working with. Hopefully it shows up good on picture. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this was helpful for you. If you are planning a destination wedding, have so much fun with it. Don't stress too much. You will have so much fun, and congratulations. Bye guys.